Hello friends, my name is Shayla and today I'm here for my third quarter manga haul for you. This haul is a bit big, but I do have to preface that it was my birthday and I was able to catch up on some series that I'd been collecting or wanting to collect in a really big way. So let's start off with one of the biggest things added to my collection this month, and that is my Haikyuu collection. I'm going to insert a clip here. I am current up to volume 40 in the US now. I was previously at volume 6 or 7. So I basically bought the entirety of Haikyuu in the last quarter, and that was a big deal. That was a big, huge purchase, but that is something that I saved up for and kind of bought all at once in the middle of my Haikyuu addiction. And I don't regret it. I'm going to continue to collect the rest of it. There's only about 5 more volumes left to come out, I believe. Maybe 6, but I think it's 5. That is the biggest addition to my collection in this quarter, so I am really excited to finally have Haikyuu physically in my home. I have continued to receive NetGalley arcs from Viz over the last quarter. I'm not going to be sharing those just because there's already so much other stuff here, but Viz has been very bountiful and plentiful with these things. So one of them was Ruby. I did pick up a physical copy on my own, and this is the official manga volume 1. I really enjoyed. They reached out to me, asked me to do a dedicated review. I will leave that linked in the corner if you want a few more details. But I really enjoyed this first volume. I highly recommend checking it out. And then my friends at Viz also sent me 2 volumes of some of my favorite series. They sent me volume 2 of Not Your Idol. This is all we have for now. The mangaka is ill, if I remember correctly, and so the series is on hiatus. I don't know when we'll get more, but man, I will take whatever I can get. This is a suspense shoujo title in which we're following a young woman who is an idol. She was attacked at a meet and greet, and this is about her moving on with her life because she moves, she cuts her hair, she stops being an idol, she starts dressing like a boy, and ends up befriending a guy at school. And the guy at school seems to have some secrets. We don't know a lot about him. He's the guy here on the cover, and it's fantastic. One of my favorites. This isn't a review. What am I doing? The other one that they sent me is volume 6 of Kakiryo Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, if I can hold it the right way. So volume 6, really enjoyed this volume. They are on the smaller side, but I still really enjoy each installment. So thank you to my friends at Viz for all of your kind generosity. As you guys will see in this haul, I spend plenty of my money with Viz, but they are kind enough to send me things, and I am grateful and very appreciative for what they send. So let's go ahead and dive right in. This is going to be a mix of used and bought myself. Most of it is bought, you know, full price, new. But I have a few older things that I was able to find at used bookstores, and I'm feeling really good about that. I know there's been a discussion of does used support the industry. I'm not going to get into that discussion today, and I'm not going to get into the hauls discussion today, okay? I'm just not. I'm too tired. We've had these conversations for years online. I'm done with the conversations. That's all I'm going to say. First up, I'm going to do this by publisher like I have previously. So obviously I'm going to start with Viz because that's the most, and then we'll move on from there. So first up, I got the first 3 volumes of Honey Hunt. I will be reading these during the Fall Into Manga Love readathon, which should be happening the week that you're watching this, because I believe, I'm not sure if I'm putting this up Sunday or later. I don't remember. But whenever you see this, it should either be starting soon or it will be currently going on. So you'll get my full thoughts on this soon, as I will be doing a vlog for the readathon. Another thing I will be reading during Fall Into Manga Love is the remainder of The Young Master's Revenge. My friend Danny gifted me volume 1 for Christmas. I really enjoyed volume 1, so I finally got around to collecting the rest of the series because it's just a short 4-volume series. So I'm really excited to finish this one up. Next up, we have Shortcake Cake volume 9. I continue to really love this series. This is a boarding house style shoujo in which right now we're focusing a lot on Riku, and he's our, you know, love interest in the house. He's got a really dynamic family background, and that's what we're delving into in the series right now. It's fantastic. But Ten, our girl, she's fantastic as well. Again, Shayla, this isn't a review. What are you doing? Next, we have the final omnibus of Maidsama. I do plan on rereading the series and then completing the final 2 omnibuses. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but hopefully soon. Next, we have Comey Can't Communicate Volume 8. Y'all know I love this series. I got an early art copy of Volume 9. Volume 9 is extra cute. But this was really fun. It centers around a school trip, and we see Comey making female friendship without Tadano's help, and it's really sweet. I really enjoyed this. Next, we have Volume 12 of Aohar Ride. I've been saying it wrong for a long time. I've been trying to correct myself, but this is the penultimate volume. This volume was really good. I have read Volume 13. It does come out the first week in October, but I love what Sakisaka did with the end of this. I do think some of the dramatics within the series went on a little long for my personal taste, but I still really enjoyed the ride that was Aohar Ride, and I will be collecting Volume 13, and it will remain in my collection because I enjoy it enough. Next, I have Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Love Me, Love Me Not. I have read an early copy of Volume 5. I will tell you about it in my wrap-up, so check the wrap-up, but yes, this series is headed in a direction that I am totally okay with. And I'm really excited for the direction of the series. And I believe this one's 12 volumes complete, if my brain remembers right. But I love Sakisaka. Sakisaka is very swiftly becoming a favorite mangaka for me, and I really enjoyed this. Next, we have Volume 8 and Volume 9 of Snow White with the Red Hair by Sorata Akiduki. About halfway through Volume 8 and Volume 9, we are in new content. So those of us who have watched the anime to nauseam because we love Shiroyuki and Zen, we get new content with these characters, and this new arc is fantastic. It's very Ryo-centered. We get a lot of Ryo. We get some Prince Aizana as well. I'm starting to warm up to Aizana, that's all I'll say. And yes, so I strongly recommend continuing on with the series. If you don't want to read all of it, watch the anime, then pick up Volume 8 and go from there. But I really enjoy my reading experience with this series, even though I was already familiar with the anime, so I highly recommend reading this one. Next, we have An Incurable Case of Love, Volume 4. We finally get the smuts in this volume, y'all, and it was good. I loved it so much. I continue to love this series a whole ton, and yes, everybody needs to be reading this. This is a josei title in which we're following a young woman, well, not a young woman, a woman who decides to become a nurse so she can work with this particular doctor who made an impression on her at a young age. She gets reacquainted with him. He's a grumpy, curmudgeon-y guy, and she warms his heart, and it's sweet, and I really love this. It's so cute. And this actually had a really interesting, like, adult dynamic to it, in which it was very centered around his career and the advancements he wants to make in his career. It's really well done. I really like the conversations being had. Next, I have Kami-sama Kiss Volume 13. This was a gift from Brie for my birthday. I love this series so much. Y'all, this is a classic. It's a staple. Read it. Speaking of another classic and staple, I finally got around to Volume 2 of Kimini Todoke, and I love this series. I've watched the anime several times. I'm finally slowly... I need to probably speed up on it because it's probably going to go out of print soon because it's been out so long. But I need to finish collecting this series so that I can finish reading it. Next is one of my favorites, and that's Requiem of the Rose King Volume 12. Y'all know I'm a diehard for this series. We're finally getting an anime for this series, y'all. My heart. Y'all just need to read it, okay? Okay. Another gift I got for my birthday was Volume 3 of My Love Story. I believe this one came from... I should have the note inside. Where did it go? This is from Whitney, from A Darker Shade of Whitney, and Whitney's a gem, and I love her. And I love this story a whole lot. This is about a big burly guy getting love, and we love to see it. Next we have Takana Hana, Volume 15. I believe we only have 3 more volumes in this particular series. This is an age gap romance involving a man and a woman who's in high school, and they're working on getting her aged up. Things are taking a long time, and his mom is now involved in the situation, as the cover tells us, and it's fantastic. I love this. This is definitely more on the comedy side, but it does have some serious moments, but it's mostly comedy, and it's great shenanigans. I have a good time. Next, we have Fly Me to the Moon, Volume 1. This is a new series out from Viz right now, and this one just came out this month. I did get an early copy of Volume 2. I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, but I am really excited. This is basically about a teenage boy who meets this beautiful girl and says she basically proposes to him. He says, yes, I will marry you. Once he turns 18, she magically shows back up and they get married and start their life. So it's kind of their early marriage shenanigans in this first volume. I was thriving on it. It was good. Next we have volume 2 of Spy Family, or Spy Times Family. I think it's just Spy Family. And I talk about this a lot in my NetGalley reviewing vlog, so I will leave that linked for you so you can check that out. Yona volume 25. You're not going to see a manga haul on this channel without Yona in it, because I film them quarterly until we have all of Yona or we're caught up with Japan. Like, it's just not going to happen, y'all. You knew you were going to see this. I just read an early copy of volume 26 on NetGalley, and my heart, oh my gosh, keep going. The end of volume 26 was the best thing. I let out an audible screech within my home to the point where it freaked out my cats. That's how excited I was about this. But yes, y'all, do it. I tell you, I support Viz probably all on my own some days. Next up, we have volume 7 and volume 8 of Daytime Shooting Star. I always love the covers for these. They're fantastic. This series, there's kind of a love triangle. There's an age gap option with a teacher, and then there's a really shy boy in class option. I'm rooting for the shy boy in class option, and volume 8 pretty much confirms that that's how this is going to end, at least in my eyes. So yes, I love this. I love the series. And yes, definitely check this one out. Even like, I really don't think the age gap is going to win in here. It does not glamorize age gaps, especially student teacher, but it's really good. I love it a whole lot. All right, moving on to the bigger size of Viz ones, because those were all the standard Viz size. Let's get into the oversized. So next we have Blue Flag Volume 3. I have read an early copy of Volume 4, which will be out next month. It's good. I love this series with a whole bunch of my heart, guys. And in this one, it's basically about 4 teenagers exploring what romantic love and their sexuality is. It's beautifully done, beautiful art, beautiful storytelling. It's so good. I don't have words for how good this is, guys. Just go read it, okay? Okay. Next we have volume 4 of The Way of the Husband by Kosuke Uno, and again, I talk about this a lot in the NetGalley vlog, so check that in the cards. Next I have Beastars volume 7 and volume 8. So basically after volume 5, the series got really solid for me. I love the direction of the series right now. Legoshi gets a glow up in volume 8. We love to see it. And yes, I really am enjoying the direction of the series. I think I'm in for the long haul on this one. We found out this one is shortly coming to an end. So I think volume 21 is the end, maybe 22, but it's ending in just a couple of chapters. So this one's almost done. Definitely looking forward to this one. And I also picked up a bunch of Rhondma 1/2 in the original first printings that are flipped. So I'm just going to show these to you. If you want my thoughts on the series, I do have a try 3 for that, so you can check that out. So we've got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, and volume 14. All in all, I really like Rhondma. That's all I'll say about that. All right, and that is it for Viz, guys. That was a stack. We're 15 minutes into this video already. So let's go on to Kodansha, because they are my next biggest stack. And then we'll go into the other, I think just 2 stacks. All right, so I have volume 8 and volume 9 of Eden Zero. I'm a little bit behind. I think I showed those backwards, so 8 and 9. I am a little bit behind. I do need to read both of these still, but I'm hoping to get caught up with that during Manga Love if I've got a little extra time. All right, here's another one of my birthday presents. This is LDK Volume 7. I believe this one came from Margaret from Adorkable. Again, really cute shoujo series, almost boarding house style, but not quite. They do live in the same apartment complex, though. So forced proximity, it's cute. I really like the series. I want to keep going. And then we have the penultimate volume of Waiting for Spring. There is going to be one more volume on this one. This one leaves you kind of on a little bit of a cliffhanger, not a major one, but a little bit of one. And we love this series a whole lot. It's a good one. And yes, I could talk about it for hours, so we're not going to. Next we have Sue and Tai Chan. This is a spin-off from Chi's Sweet Home. This is really sweet cat shenanigans, old cat kitten introduction. It's glorious. It's good. Drink break. Next we have Your Lie in April Volume 7. I'm slowly collecting this series. I've got 8, 9, and 10 left to collect on this one. Or is there an 11th? I don't remember. But I only have a few more to collect on this one, and I just read them as I collect them, and once I read a volume, I buy the next one. So I'm really excited to continue going on this one. Now, I might have mentioned Volume 2 in a previous haul, but I do also have Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Living Room Matsunagasan. This is a boarding house shoujo with an age gap element to it. Matsunagasan is an adult man in his mid-20s, where Miko is close to the end of high school. I believe, I don't remember, she turns 17 or 18 early on in the series. But she's almost to adulthood, and they're crushing hard on each other. It's cute. We love to see it. Next we have, oh, that's in the wrong stack. But we've got Sweat and Soap Volume 3. Y'all know I love this series, and this particular volume was extra good to me. It dealt with a lot of things that people deal with in adult relationships. It was just so well handled, so good, guys. I love it. Y'all, I know the concept's weird, but I promise the series is good. Will you please just try it? Please, for me? Oh, for some people, I've gotten a lot of new people, I guess I should explain. This is an adult workplace relationship in which we have a woman who is self-conscious of her body odor. She works at the company in which she feels like their products mask her odor the best. She's happily looking at a display one day. A guy from the product development department walks by, catches a whiff of her, loves what he smells, and he comes up to her and says, "Hey, can I come and sniff you every day?" And they form a friendship. It blooms into a relationship. I know the concept's weird, and there's a whole, like, smelling fetish thing kind of to this, but it's really cute. I really love this a whole lot. They go to the hot springs in this one, and yes to the hot springs. That's all I'm going to say. All right, next up, I was catching up on a few volumes of another one of the series that I've been wanting to collect a lot more of, and that is Welcome to the Ballroom. So I finally picked up Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 5. Obviously, this is a ballroom dancing centered story in which we're following a teenage boy and his journey with ballroom. And being a former ballroom dancer myself, I really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. In the ballroom community, this series has kind of become a meme, but I still enjoy it. I think it's a good time. Next, we have Perfect World Volume 2. Y'all know I love this series, and I talk about it a lot in my previous haul, but this one has some disability rep, but it is told from an ableist perspective, so you are going to have some ableist things happening. But the thing I love about this series, I've read a lot of the series, I believe all of it now, but you see our ableist character change, and they grow, they change. I think it's a beautiful journey. Another one that was a gift from Margaret, I believe. Let's see if I can find the little note. But this is Volume 10 of Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. We kind of have a pervy male lead who's kind of obsessed with butts. And then this is another age gap where we're dealing with an adult. He's 22 or 23, I want to say. And then she's in high school. So there is that age gap element to it. This does kind of glamorize an age gap. So if you're not okay with age gaps, this series might not be for you. But I find it thoroughly enjoyable. Next up, I have Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 of Wave. Listen to Me. From what I remember, this is a podcast-centered story in which we're dealing with Minari. And it also has some feminist tones to it. So I'm really excited to see where this one goes. This is going to be, obviously, in a Try 3 episode coming up soon. Another series slated for Try 3 is Drifting Dragons. So that is Volume 3, Volume 2, and Volume 1. Again, dragons feels a little bit like Nausicaa. I would have been stupid to not touch this one. Next, we have To Your Eternity, Volume 12. This completes the first arc of Fushi's story, and this is all about a creature named Fushi learning about the human experience. That's the easiest way to describe it. This volume was the healing balm to all of the heart ripping out that you experience in the first 11 volumes. It was really well done. I really loved how this came together, and I'm really interested to see where the next arc of the story goes. Next, we have Beyond the Clouds, Volume 2. Finally, Volume 2. The Rona pushed this one back, but I'm really excited to get to this one during Fall into Manga Love. This is on my list. Next, we have Volume 2 and Volume 3 of Night of the Ice. We love Night of the Ice. We love to see it. And this is a figure skating series, obviously, in which we're following a man who is an otaku who cannot land his quad jumps without his best friend, who happens to be female, casting his favorite magical girl spell from his favorite magical girl anime. I mean, like, I can't say anymore. It's amazing. And by the way, the art is the cutest thing in the world. I mean, come on now. I mean, even the back cover on this one is super cute. We love this series a whole lot in this house. That's all I'll say. Next we have Witch Hat Atelier Volume 6. This series continues to get good. It took a little bit of a dark turn recently. I'm really liking the direction. This particular volume is very political. We love to see it. Then we've got a new series. This is technically out from Vertical, but Vertical is a partner with Kodansha, which is why I put it in the Kodansha stack. And that is With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. This is basically just the dog and cat shenanigans of this mangaka. It's really cute. You see actual pictures of their actual animals within the story as well. It's really cute. Highly recommend if you like animal shenanigans. Blah, blah, blah. You can tell I've been talking too long. Drink break. Next we have Volume 1, the Collector's Edition of Chobits. This is a beautiful hardback in the size of like the Rose of Versailles volumes, which you'll see in a little bit. So these are a little bit bigger, well, about the same size as the oversized Kodanshas. It's a little bit bigger just because it's a hardback, but you get colored panels in this one. I have a whole reaction vlog to this series because I was able to borrow the whole series from a friend. So I'll leave that linked in the cards if you want more info on the series. I also picked up Sailor Moon The Eternal Edition Volume 9. I know y'all are wondering why I'm doing this after my salty tea-filled vlog from before, but I do plan on revisiting the series after all of these have finished publishing, and we'll see if I feel the same or not. Last but not least, for our Kodansha stack, we have Volume 5, the Collector's Edition of Cardcaptor Sakura. Again, a hardback. We love seeing hardback editions of mangas, and I love the oversizedness of the art here, and it's just beautiful. I really am enjoying the series. I don't know that it's my favorite Clamp title, but I still really enjoy it, which is why I continue to collect these beautiful editions. Alrighty, so that's it for Kodansha. The next group we're going to do is Yen Press. Yen Press publishes a couple of my favorite series, and they're publishing another series that's new to me that I'm really enjoying. So, first up, Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, y'all. I'm going to tell you to keep reading it. I'm going to tell you to keep buying it. I love this series so much. This is a political style shoujo fantasy in which we're dealing with a girl who's been raised her entire life to become the slave of the King of Beasts. Instead, she becomes his bride. I can't tell you why because of spoilers, but this series is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Definitely check this one out. Next is the new series, and that is Fiancé of the Wizard Volume 1. This is like a isekai with a childhood friends to lovers romance, and it's everything I need. It's so good, and I love it so very much. Definitely check out this one. Next we have Horimiya Volume 6. I finally picked up another volume in this one. I'm just collecting this one slowly. My bookstore doesn't like to get it in very often, so I'm hoping to get caught up on the collection on this soon so I can keep going. Alright, next up I have all 3 volumes of Fruits Basket Another. I did read all of these. I was gonna do a whole video on it, but I didn't end up enjoying them as much as I hoped to. They relied far too much on the original series. Almost felt like a money grab to me, which is really sad. I do like Takuya's art. So the art is still beautiful, but the story was just kind of meh for me. So take that for what you will. I love Fruits Basket, the original. But Fruits Basket Another just kind of didn't do it for me. We do focus a lot on Akito's child. So if you're interested in what happens to the child of Akito and who Akito ends up with, can't say because of spoilers, then you'll want to check it out. And I think the way they handle that is pretty well done. All right, I've got 2 more from Yen Press, and then we'll move on to the next one. So we've got Silver Spoon Volume 15. I still need to read 13 and 14. I'm a little bit behind on this one. I got reading all the new shiny things, sorry. But I do plan on catching up on this one very soon. Still really enjoy it. This is an agricultural-based series, and I believe there's only one more volume after this if this isn't the final volume. I think there's one more. I can't remember for sure, but it says this final push, so I'm not sure if this is the final volume or if 16 is. But we're almost done with this series. It's really fun. But it is pretty accurate. So if you're sensitive or to the agricultural industry or how animals are treated in the agricultural industry, it might not be for you. So I will put that caveat out there. And then there's I Don't Know How to Give Birth. I talk about this in my new and notable, so I won't talk about it here, but that's linked in the cards for you. We have Seven Seas. Seven Seas also publishes some of my favorite things. I find things I love from every publisher, so I should just stop saying that. But obviously, in the US, it's easy for us to favor Viz and Kodansha because they seem to print more than most. So first up, Primitive Boyfriend, Volume 2. Yes, I'm so sad it's such a short series. Volume 3 will be the end, and I'm really interested to see how this one ends up wrapping up. But man, I really enjoyed Volume 2. Next, I did end up picking up the next 3 volumes of Sorry for My Familiar, so I got Volume 4, Volume 5, nope, that's Volume 6, Volume 5, and Volume 6. So I'm really excited to continue reading in this series. I do plan on reading at least Volume 4 during Manga Love. These are fun, very episodic, so I tend to... I did a try 3 on this, and then I decided I liked spacing them out, so that's why. Next we have The Ancient Magus Bride, Jack Flash and the Fairy Case Files, Volume 1. I talked about this in my new and notable, so again, that's linked in the cards. Fire in His Fingertips. I finally picked me up a physical copy. I love this series. I love this volume. I do talk about it in the... I believe it's the first episode of New and Notable, so I'll leave that linked in the cards as well. I might just link the playlist instead of the individual videos, so check that out. And then, last but not least, I read I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I read this just this week. I ended up really enjoying this. I will be talking about it in my wrap-up. So if my wrap-up's already up, obviously it's in the cards. If not, then it'll be coming soon. Look out for that. Next we have Makeup is Not Just Magic, a manga guide to cosmetics and skincare. I have not read this yet, but the cosmetologist in me really wants to know what they say, so I went ahead and picked it up. The final volume of Blank Canvas. I love this series a whole lot. I really ended up enjoying this ending. I felt a lot, I cried a lot, and yes, that is my thoughts on Blank Canvas Volume 5. I also got BL Metamorphosis Volume 2. This series continues to be adorable, and it's all about female friendship. No matter your age, we have an elderly woman and a late teens, early 20s woman. It's beautiful. I love it. We need more female friendship things. I just have to say that. Next, I have Love on the Other Side. This is a Nagabe short story collection. I had a lot of mixed feelings about this. I still do. So I'm not sure if it's going to stay in my collection or not. But since it's still here, I decided to show you guys anyway. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But... my friend April did a pretty accurate review on this one, so I'll leave that linked for you guys to check out. Next, I picked up the light novel instead of the manga of I Had That Same Dream Again, but I thought I'd talk about it here because it's my manga people that would care about it. So in this one, we're following a young girl who's getting to know lots of different people and asking them what matters to them in life, essentially. It's really sweet. I really like how this one came together. I was really pleased. I recommend. Same person, the same author as I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. And then I've got a new series, My Senpai is Annoying. Volume 1 I've read. Volume 2 I just barely picked up today. So I will be reading this soon. This is a 4-koma style office romance. Obviously, big burly guy, little tiny woman. Really excited to see where this one goes. And then I recently got sent from the BookTube Gift Fairies, Volume 1 of The Sacred Blacksmith. I don't know too much about this one. I added it to my list a long time ago. But I believe it's about a woman, okay, like her father and grandfather before her, Cecily Campbell has entered the noble ranks of the Knights Guard, sworn to protect the independent trade city of Hostman. All seems lost when a lone figure swoops to the rescue, an expert swordsman with a sword unlike any Cecily has ever seen. So, yes, we love to see it. Oh, my poor bum is so numb. But we are almost done. So, this is kind of my mixed stack, so I will mention the publisher as I talk about them, and I'm knocking things over with my leg. Let me move some things. So, we have 7 Days. This is out from Sublime. This is the complete series. So it's called 7 Days, Monday through Sunday. There was recently some controversy about this because there was a book that basically had this exact same premise, and this has been out a lot longer than that, so anyways. Obviously, it was either inspired by or kind of stolen in concept from. So please support the original manga instead of I believe it's called Date Me Bryson Keller. And then we have Don't Call Me Dirty. I got this from my buddy Dylan. Dylan, I love this human so much. I talked about it a lot in a recent recommendations video, so I will leave that linked for you. Then I've got volume 2 of My Dress Up Darling. I actually really enjoyed the direction of volume 2. I wasn't sure after volume 1, as if you watched my previous haul or my dedicated review to volume 1, but I really enjoyed the direction of volume 2. But I think from here it's gonna go darker places, so I'm not sure how long I'll stick with this one. But I'm still taking this one volume by volume. And then last, but obviously not least, we've got these behemoths. We've got volume 2 and 3 of The Rose of Versailles. I tried to do a reaction vlog to this, but I just kept saying, this is crazy. I'm still loving it. We all thirst for Oscar. And that's how we feel about this series. And, you know, poor Andre. By the time you hit volume 3, you're getting poor Andre status. But I love the series a whole lot, and these editions are absolutely stunning. Highly recommend checking these out. And I do have a dedicated reaction vlog to the first in the series on the channel that you guys can look up. Okay, guys, that is my manga haul. It was huge, I know. Don't judge me. This is for 3 months worth, not 1 month. And I've read most of it. So I don't feel bad because I am consuming what I'm bringing in. So anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. I love you all. I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I will see you next time.